Hi everyone, Matt Watson here from carwow. So this is the all-new Rolls-Royce Ghost. It's a second generation version of Rolls' entry-level car. I say entry-level, it still costs an absolute fortune, but then it is packed full of all the latest technology and has more luxury than a 5-star hotel. And so in this video, I'm going to tell you the top 10 most important things you need to know about the new Ghost. Here we have the old Rolls-Royce Ghost, and this is the brand new Rolls-Royce Ghost. They actually look pretty similar at first, don't they? But Rolls-Royce has actually changed every single part of the new Ghost. It's all completely new. They've just done it in a really subtle way. Sort of like the way you'd renovate an old country house that's listed. You want to keep all its character, but you also want to make it feel modern inside. You're not just going to shove a jacuzzi on the front lawn now, are you? Overall, this means the Ghost is a bit less showy than the Phantom and the Cullinan. Its signature polished grille is a bit smaller, a bit less in your face. And those 21-inch alloy wheels get a less blingy two-tone design instead of a whole load of chrome. It's all about being subtle. Posh, expensive, but subtle. The new Rolls-Royce Ghost cabin is about as sumptuous as it gets. Well, if you don't count the even more luxurious Phantom. It's like I'm actually stroking a sheep. Anyway, the dashboard actually looks pretty similar to those cars. But that's not a bad thing, is it? They are even more expensive. It's actually nice and simple, but everything just feels and looks achingly luxurious, darling. All the buttons, all the materials, everything, lovely. I especially love the roller controls for the heater and the plungers for the air vents. And the satin wood trim on the dashboard is a nice touch as well. It just feels a bit more classier than a load of over-polished walnut like you get in old Rolls-Royces. The Ghost is only the baby of the Rolls-Royce range, but it's still absolutely massive inside. There's almost enough space in the back seats for you to social distance from your friends in the front. Almost, just a bit less than 2 meters. I measured it. The boot is pretty massive as well. It's got a capacity of 500 litres. You're gonna be able to fit a load of luggage in there. Enough space for some golf clubs and maybe a few Rembrandts you've just bought. The new Rolls-Royce Ghost comes with a 6.75 litre twin-turbo V12. And it's not a BMW engine. Rolls-Royce was very clear to me about that. It's their engine, with their own part number and everything. Right? Anyway, it produces 563 horsepower, which is exactly the same as the engine in the Phantom. It doesn't quite have the same 900 Newton meters of torque as the Phantom though, but 850 Newton meters, it's not bad, is it? You're gonna notice the lack of 50 Newton meters? Nope. Now, some engines produce their maximum torque quite high up in the rev range, so you have to rev them to get all that power. The engine in the Ghost is the complete opposite. You get all 850 Newton meters from just 1600 RPM. Little above idling, it's just boom, ready to go. Almost like an electric car with instant torque. The new Ghost also gets 4-wheel drive for the first time. Previous generation was rear-wheel drive only. Actually, when you're just cruising around, the new Ghost is mainly rear-wheel drive. However, if you floor the accelerator, then the 4-wheel drive system will send power to the front to give you maximum traction. This means the Ghost can do 0 to 60 miles an hour in just 4.6 seconds. That's actually 0.2 of a second quicker than a BMW M135i hot hatch can do it in. I don't know why I'm comparing those two cars. Let me know some other cars that the Rolls-Royce Ghost beats in the comments below. See if you can do a better job of this than me. The new Ghost 0 to 60 time is actually slightly quicker than that of the Phantom and the Cullinan, and it means that the Ghost is the quickest accelerating 4-door Rolls-Royce you can buy. Now, this is doubly impressive when you consider that it still weighs 2,490 kilos, which is a lot. It's simply not good enough to just shove some fancy LED daytime running lights on your car these days. That's not going to impress anyone at all. So you've got to think of new ways to get people's attention. Rolls-Royce has decided the best way to do this is to light up that absolutely massive front grille. Only thing is, they haven't just slapped some LEDs in there like on the new BMW X6. Oh no, that would be way too bling. So instead, they've tucked the lights right up at the top to give it a cool downlighting effect like in a swanky hotel room. And they've even sandblasted the back of the grille so that it diffuses the light into a softer glow. It's all very, very nice, and it's that attention to detail which sets Rolls-Royce apart. Shut lines aren't normally that exciting. They're just the lines on a car where the body panels meet. But the Rolls-Royce Ghost doesn't really have any. It's like they've just made the whole body out of a massive piece of uber posh metal. So how the hell have they done that? Well, they actually hand welded every single part of the body shell to make sure there aren't any big unsightly gaps. To do this, they have two welders working side by side to stop the metal twisting in the heat. Even the bodywork around the brake lights has been welded up, so it's just one huge sheet of metal. Also, Rolls-Royce has managed to get rid of any ugly rain gutters in the car's roof as well. Instead, the stainless steel door frames guide the water away from the windows when you open the doors, so you don't get any water dripping on your head when you get out. There's actually a man at Rolls-Royce who had to go out and measure raindrops all over the world to make sure this frame was exactly the right size to channel the water properly. I wonder if they call him Rain Man. And if it does start bucketing down with rain, you can always grab the special umbrella hidden in the Rolls-Royce Ghost back doors. Classic Rolls-Royce feature. Part of the reason why a Rolls-Royce is so relaxing to drive is because they're always so super quiet. This is because they're absolutely packed with sound insulation, and the new Ghost comes with more than 100 kilograms of the stuff, and it's literally everywhere. It's in the tyres, it's in the drive shaft, and they've injected it into almost every crevice in the car's body. But when Rolls-Royce tested this out, they discovered that the car was so quiet that it started to make passengers feel a little bit uneasy. They were just moving along, yet it sounded like they were sitting still. Messed up their brains. You see, your brain actually needs a bit of background noise to remind itself that you're in a car. Otherwise, you might start to feel a bit of motion sickness. So, to counteract this, Rolls-Royce went back to the drawing board and started to tune everything in the Ghost to resonate together like a massive musical instrument. And they did this to pretty much everything in the car. They even tuned the seat frames and smoothed out the insides of the pipes for the air conditioning. All this work means that every part of the Rolls-Royce cabins resonates at the same reassuring background frequency. Needless to say, all this acoustic tuning makes the new Ghost the perfect place to crank up some tunes. In fact, the only part of the body that doesn't have sound deadening in are the sills. This is because they actually act like resonance chambers for the stereo subwoofers. They just amplify the bass. It's as though they think of everything, isn't it? The new Rolls-Royce Ghost gets the same sort of doors as the Phantom. So the front doors open normally, but the back ones, they're hinged at the rear. This makes it easier to get in and out gracefully, which is very important in a car like this. And just like in the Phantom, you have a little button inside the car, which when you press it will automatically close the doors, you know, just in case your chauffeur's on holiday or something. Now, the Ghost doors don't just shut automatically, they are also the first ever doors on a Rolls-Royce to open automatically as well. Each one has a motor inside, connected to a gyroscope and a computer to control everything. Now, you need that to prevent the doors just opening in a dangerous way, such as if you're on a hill. To open the doors, all you have to do is just press a button and they'll just gently open. Every new Rolls-Royce Ghost gets air suspension as standard, so you can bet it'll be one of the most comfortable cars to travel in. The Ghost also gets Rolls-Royce's flag bearer system. This is basically a load of cameras and sensors in the front bumper that can scan the road for potholes. When they find a bump, they automatically soften the car suspension before any wheel hits it. You can just waft along without a care in the world. The automatic gearbox even uses data from the satellite navigation to help it know when to change gear. So if you're coming to a hill or a junction, it can change down in advance, so nothing is hurried. All this means that there's really less for Jeeves, your chauffeur, to worry about. But Rolls-Royce reckons people who buy a Ghost aren't just going to be ferried around in it. They're also going to want to drive it themselves. So they spent a load of time designing a whole new kind of suspension to make it feel better to drive than before. This uses two shock absorbers for each front wheel instead of just one, like you get in pretty much any other normal car. One is there to soak up all the bumps, and the other one makes sure that the Ghost stays dead level when you change lanes or pull out to overtake another car. It's the first time any production car has got a system like this. The new Ghost also gets rear wheel steering as well. This steers the rear wheels in the opposite direction to the front wheels at slow speeds, so you can make tighter turns. But when you're going faster, they steer in the same direction, which makes the car more stable. And that is something that you will want in a car that weighs almost 2.5 tons. Now, if you click on the pop-out banner up there, you can watch my full in-depth video review of the Rolls-Royce Phantom, which is still the most luxurious Rolls you can buy. The Rolls-Royce Ghost comes with absolutely loads of screens. For starters, there's a set of digital dials like in the Phantom. Yes, I know they look like proper old school analog dials, but trust me, it's a screen. There's also a central infotainment display, just like in the Phantom. And you can guess what you get in the back? Yeah, that's right. more screens. These aren't just a couple of aftermarket displays stuck on the back of the headrests. Oh no, these are bespoke Rolls-Royce screens, and they get their own fold-out wooden tables with chrome trim on them as well. And you don't even have to move them out yourself, you just press a button and they automatically fold out. You can use the screens to choose what plays on the stereo or program the sat-nav, which is handy if you don't want to talk to your driver, I guess. One thing that isn't a screen though is the Ghost badge to the left of the clock. This is made up of 152 LEDs hidden in the dashboard. When you turn this feature on, they shine out through 90,000 laser etched holes in the lacquer. Apparently, this is designed to make it look like the dash has been lit by 850 individual stars, you know, to match the starlight headliner in the car's roof. Now, Rolls-Royce could have created a similar effect by using a digital screen. The only problem is that when you turned it off, you'd be left with a screen, and so it wouldn't look anywhere near as good. It's that attention to detail yet again. It's incredible. Obviously, all this luxury and technology doesn't come cheap. And while Rolls-Royce hasn't said yet how much the Ghost will cost exactly, you're gonna have to set aside at least £200,000 for one. But you know how it is with Rolls-Royce. You can probably double that if you decide to have a load of bespoke options fitted to the car. You know, if I was buying one, I'd probably have mine trimmed out with zebra leather seats and paint made from ground up Saxon jewellery. Yeah. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Also, comment below any kind of other videos you'd like us to do. If you want to watch some more videos, click on the windows there.